So we are doing somewhat of a light-hearted, playful series this month I'm calling Summer Blockbusters, as we're taking a look at spiritual practices and teachings borrowed from some blockbuster movie titles. So the idea, Back to the Future, what does that really mean? And what does that have to do with us spiritually? What I think it has to do with us spiritually is it touches upon a dilemma that we have in our New Thought teachings. And that is that we've got a lot of paradox. We call it divine paradox in our New Thought teachings. And one of them is the idea that on one hand, we talk very much about and teach the idea of setting our intentions, of having a vision for ourselves, for our future. And then we also talk about, but be here now. And though they seem to be opposites, both in fact are very, very necessary. We take from our Old Testament the teaching quite literally, where there is no vision, the people perish. We emphasize in our New Thought teachings the importance of thinking about and dreaming about and bringing into our mind's eye the kind of life that we want to live, the kind of world that we want to co-create for each other. We emphasize that, but we also emphasize the practice of being here right now, being mindful of this moment in time. Well, it is a balancing act, and here is the first of three things I want to talk to you about this morning. One of the ways that we balance being able to think about and plan for the future while still embracing the very important practice of being present and mindful here and now is that we must stand firm in spiritual truth. We must stand firm in spiritual truth. Quite honestly, I don't know how people manage to make it through difficulties in their lives personally, or to make sense of senseless acts of violence without having a spiritual foundation to stand on. Because it's in those moments when things look so crazy that you and I have got to have an anchor to hold to. Something that we absolutely know is true no matter what. What are those spiritual truths? What is it that we must stand firm on? In Isaiah, there is a saying, if you don't stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. Very wise words. If you don't stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. If you don't stand firm in your faith when chaos and the winds of change and challenge hit your life, you will topple over. To stand firm in your faith. It brings us right back to what are our core spiritual principles. Core spiritual principle number one is that there is a presence and a power in the universe, call it God or whatever you want to call it. There is a presence and power in the universe that is benevolent, and that is intelligent. And that we, this is a second that follows from it, that we absolutely, positively can connect with that presence and power and use it as a force for good in our lives and in the world.